Again, exactly. That's what was happening to me in the beginning, but we're back. Hey!
On that note,
मैंने अपने लेंस और चश्मे दोनों उतार दिए और अंधी.
well, luckily आपने अपना चश्मा और लेंस उतार दिए, लेकिन हम आपको देख सकते हो और सुन भी सकते हैं. So a warm welcome, Akasa and Raftaar. How are you guys doing?
Really good, भाई. आप कैसे हो?
जी मैं तो बढ़िया हूँ. आपका बीटबॉक्स
मैं हिंदी में ही बात करूंगा आपसे. हिंदी में ही बात करूंगा अनुज भाई.
हम हिंदी. Actually, you know what? I was supposed to do it in English, but then I don't know. Like हिंदी का एक लहजा आ गया, so I was just thought let's.
ओए होए, ये इमोशंस है ना. आपको हम आपकी मिट्टी की खुशबू हम साथ लेके आए Zoom के थ्रू.
Wow, kya baat hai. Okay, so guys, a huge congratulations on your song Naiyyo. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful song, and I believe it's the first time you two have collaborated together as well. So tell me, how did this opportunity come about?
I feel like I want to talk in a British accent, but I'm going to not do that.
Go on, do it.
No.
No.
Can I have some, please?
Okay. So basically, I had this song that I wrote. Let's just say for someone in my head, for someone as an inspired, and I had a bunch of songs actually, and Raftaar and I was interviewing Raftaar. Now that I remember, like we were working on a project together. And at the end of that shoot, all of us went on a drive back home from that shoot, and I played him a bunch of songs. And
no drive, she was kind enough to drop us back home.
Yeah. You did have a car, but I forced you to come in my car so I could also play you my songs and drop you back. But I think at that time there was another song that I really was looking forward to, because collaborating in any way, and obviously he was kind enough to be interested in songs. And then the next thing you know, Naiyyo I played him this as well apart from the other songs. And I feel like it just happened. He seemed interested, but then after that he also wrote a verse for it, which was like, it like fit like a puzzle. And that's actually how I wanted him to be a part of the song. And I would be happy if he was a part of any and every song, but he liked this one.
This is really cute. I just love the whole collaboration as well, because I mean, you both are champions in your own ways. I mean, Akasa, literally as you came in, our welcome song for you, while Raftaar's welcome beatbox was obviously of Nagin, which is a huge song. I think I've played it on my show a couple of times as well, and I've always had requests to play it again and again. It's such a big song. I mean, Raftaar to hum sab jante hain, matlab rap ke jo Raftaari jo hai unke paas wo bahut zyada badhiya hai. So how did you guys sort of manage this synergy with each other? Like how do you divide who does what equally in such a collaboration?
It's very simple, man. Let each other do their part of the job. Like Akasa, it's Akasa's song. So my mindset is very clean. It's Akasa's song. Akasa has thought of an idea. Akasa has reached out to particular music directors who are going to produce the entire layout for this. Akasa has built the song to a level where she has done her part of it. Now she has brought it to me and told me to add my elements. So that's my part of the job. So what I do is I work on that, plus tell Akasa what can be changed. And then Akasa can tell me if she feels the same or not, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's her song. It's her idea. It's not about creating the perfect song. It's about creating the truest form of the song. You know, because my emotions would be very different on the same topic, and her emotions are different. And I need to remember it's her emotion that started this entire thing of having me a part of, you know, her dreams or her representation of what one of her past hassles were like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it, man. She brought it to me and I was like, Akasa, okay. So what I'm going to do is, it's usually like a banter. It's back and forth. What I'm going to do is, let me give it a third perspective. It's the people who are around the couple who are always looking at them fight and be like, man, these kids are up to no good again. You know, it's you know how it is, bro. You see, you're having a party and there is one of your friends who's just sitting there and he's the one who's sulking over something that happened 3 years ago. And rest of the people are like, bro, please, could you please move on? You're making my beer taste bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the guy who probably sulks. So I'll be like,
But,
probably.
you know, so
Like,
then I'm your friend, bro. So I became the friend of the guy who'd go to him and be like, bro, move on.
yeah,
There's a bigger life ahead of you. There's something better for you. And
yeah.
so, you know, so I was like, I want to play that part.
And I think it's quite an interesting phase at the moment because I know Badshah has been quite busy as well in creating a lot of music. I mean, recently he did a music video with Ravi and Sargun Ko Toxic, and I think that was also created during.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
lockdown, yeah.
so how has lockdown played a huge part in you two in your lives actually in creating and exploring new styles and new kind of ideas for music?
Well, I've started learning and I've made sure I go back to the old days when music was physically cut than just on softwares when you would have to sample them. So I've got my knowledge on a couple of these things. This is the only thing I've been watching. So yeah, I'm trying to bring hip hop in a way where it was old school, you know, those gritty drums, where those samples, those movements. So that's what I've been learning this entire lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
In
And
terms of music, I was lucky enough that I got to do a bunch of collaborations because I don't know what it was. I got reached out from a lot of people, a lot of artists that I was a fan of, but I never really thought in my head that, oh, you know, I could have. I'm waiting for those songs to drop. I don't want to talk about them much before, but the fact that maybe because life was so busy before for them and for me that collaboration never crossed my mind or I never thought about it. And now when I have a studio and access to a studio, we actually like made a setup at home with a mic and everything. And I remember talking to my brother about it. What is happening? Like these are huge songs that I would probably choose the choicest of studios to dub at, and look at what we are doing with a blanket over our head. So it's
That's so Billie Eilish of you.
I know, right? Did you do that? There's the blanket thing.
Yeah, yeah. I still do it. I've been recording like that, man. I don't have a behind this is a curtain. I don't have no soundproofing.
spoiler alert.
It's a magic curtain, man.
Yeah. So yeah, Akasa, you were saying, so you were saying, so you obviously created that whole mahol at home, right? For
Yeah,
the
we did. So it's been crazy, and I'm not trying to. I don't want to normalize this and be like, yeah, now this is a new normal. I want to stop saying that because no, it's not, and we have to go back to normal soon. But the fact that art can be created if you want to anywhere in any situation and nothing can stop you. I remember being like, oh god, I don't have a mic, what am I going to do, blah blah blah. And then I realized Vishal Dadlani in fact went to his car. I remember I called him once. He's like, I'm just dubbing something. I'm like, where are you? He's like, in my car. He was because he was at a farmhouse. He went into his car and he was recording vocals on his phone, and he has a song coming out. So everybody sort of created a new normal for themselves because literal show must not go on vibes happening. I feel like that's what is lockdown.
Definitely. I think lockdown has been a big eye opener for many of us, actually, in many, many ways. I've got to talk about this subject because I think it's been doing its rounds in the media quite a lot. Obviously, there's been a lot of, how do I say it? I guess a lot of discussions evolving about the music.
About nepotism?
Yeah, I don't really want to discuss that because I think there's so many debates already about, and I don't really want to contribute to that. But I just think, as just to explore your journeys in particular, how challenging has it been for you to kind of reach this stage where you're currently at? I mean, Raftaar, beginning with you. I mean, your journey has been incredible. I think you're probably one of the key people who has sort of brought rap music to the mainstream front of Indian music. How challenging has it been for you to kind of reach to this stage?
Well, to be honest, I was really lucky that when I started off is when the digital era was rushing in. It was just moving in. You know, it started off at the same time, and me being, I was a real geeky kid. I liked getting information about computers and how they worked and everything behind it. And I wanted to be like a animator or somebody in tech. That really helped me in my music because I would go to these websites and learn how to post my music. Because back in the day, we didn't have SoundCloud. We had SoundClick. We had Reverb Nation. We had MySpace. I'm talking about that era. We had High Five. And there was Orkut, and a lot of people didn't know that on Orkut, if you add up this plugin called Grease Monkey on Firefox, you can add JavaScript on it, where you can embed a particular song from Reverb Nation or MySpace or SoundClick or any of these pages onto Orkut directly, which is very normal now, but nobody could do it back then. Embedding a link directly, which can be played by an external player onto Orkut. So that is what I had figured out, and that's what I would do on these Orkut battle rap communities, and that's how people started stumbling onto my music. So that's what it's about, moving with the times as well.
Right.
So that is how my journey became started and moved forward. And I was constantly teaching myself how to be self-dependent. So I was constantly learning how to make music. I've learned from the biggest university in the world, and that's YouTube. My knowledge is free. And I can go and check out multiple sources. So people say I don't have money or the time to learn are very wrong right now, because the entire knowledge you want, the bank is out there and free for you. That's where I learned. And when I started learning from YouTube, it was a very small place. In fact, I had to jump in between YouTube and Vimeo, because Vimeo was a place where more artists and creators were there. Like I kept myself open with this fact. There are a lot of places where it's just creators that are active. Like in the Indian industry, a lot of people still don't know that the major musicians are holding gatherings on Discord. A lot of people don't know about Discord. Kids probably know, but big people don't know. A lot of, by big people, I mean the grown-ups don't know, because they're not focusing there. But the times are moving. Musicians and beat makers are making Discord accounts and Twitch streams where they personally, make music, and people learn, and they share beats, they share sample packs. You have to be aware about this always. So that has been my key, and that has been my trick of keeping up with the world. Constantly being aware on how the music industry, how the business and the art side of it move. You have to put them two together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's incredible to see you come such a long way as well, Raftaar. I mean, I think even like you doing the reality shows like Jhalak and Dance India Dance, which you were a judge as well recently. I guess even sometimes, I mean, Akasa, you were also you were in the actual music video of Nagin as well, right? Just wanted to kind of just
that's me.
Exactly.
That's like 5 kg.
Yeah. So I think for both of you actually, how important is it? Because obviously, log aapki awaaz ko pehnchante hi hai. Like everyone knows your voices, everyone knows, who you are. But how important is it to kind of get that visual familiarity with the audiences? Akasa, beginning with you.
So I have always, growing up, I didn't really know what that is what being a pop star is. But for me, I remember asking my mom, why is the singer not acting? Because I knew from a young age that, okay, Shah Rukh Khan is not singing his songs, because my dad himself was a playback singer, right?
Oh, okay.
So, Arvinder Singh, he was big in Punjabi pop and everything. So I grew up around music.
Okay.
And I always thought that when I do a song, I don't want to be someone's voice. I want people to know I'm singing, because I always loved the limelight. I always loved being on stage. Growing up, I realized that is the difference between a Rihanna and a Beyonce and an Avril Lavigne that I used to listen to in college. And India, I didn't know it's this whole pop thing. I didn't know that there is no pop star after the 90s. It sort of became more about Bollywood. And I always had these dreams that I don't want to be known as a voice. I want people to know Akasa, the brand. I want people to think of my face when they hear my voice, instead of being like, yeah, this is this heroine's song. No, it's the singer's song. It's that heroine's movie, yes, but the song is so-and-so singers. Me joining hands with Sony Music and getting signed on to them was actually what really, I still remember the first meeting we had, this was discussed, and they were on the same page, and they're like, we are willing to also work on that. And I was like, great, then I am ready to work on my look, my dance, my everything that you want, that so that you can make a product out of everything about me and not just my voice, which is where Thagranja actually also happened. I did go through 1 month of like dance training, and I was really working hard on my body, and I made sure everything was not just the song. I feel like the 2 months were on the song, and then 1 month was just video. And that's where your label also comes into play, where they were like, yes, with Nagin, they took my input that I told them this is what I want to do. I was like, we want an Indian look in the video.
Yeah.
And the end moment they changed the whole, because there was no Indian vibe in that whole song. It was different looks. And so the fact that it's a very joint effort, even with tiny Indian, even with Naiyyo, I have made sure that I want people to also know that I like my clothes, I like my makeup, I like experimenting. I don't just want them to know that, okay, she can sing different songs. I want them to know that, okay, I can do a Nagin where I don't look like myself. I'm really heavily made up with like kajal and like tons of like Indian. Whereas same in Naiyyo, there is very less makeup and it's more about looking real and just being really like, just working with this instead of working with the whole body. So definitely it's very important. That's what pop music is about. That's what a pop star is about. Whether it's commercial pop or indie, pure indie music,
Yeah.
independent music requires a face, and right now is the time to get out there and build your brand and be known for that.
Very good. I think that is so well said and well summarized. I think that was very wonderful. But I think on a final note, guys, because obviously when I speak to a lot of actors regarding, you know, the change after lockdown in cinema, I think there's obviously been a huge shift. I think people have started to gain a preference towards digital films and obviously digital series and stuff like that. Series is not even a word, but I don't know why I just said that, but yes. So what change do you think will be there for music after lockdown, or if any?
The only norms that change are the performance, the way we perform on stage shows and visiting different places. That's going to take some time, but people have already come up with ways to deal with that. There's a lot of digital online shows that are happening, online performances that are happening. So
Yeah.
we see this. We are human beings, man. We have learned to make the most out of any opportunity. We always find a way out. Always. That is why we are the people who are ruling the planet right now. Like there's a lot of creatures on this planet. Human beings are the ones that were able to build themselves up to this place.
Yeah.
We always find a way out. And music, man, how can you stay away from music? Because if you're sad, you need music. You're happy, you need music. In any way, any forms of life, it's like the representation of what your heart feels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be lots more, like maybe not as many videos, but there's going to be so many EPs out because most musicians are sitting and making songs one after the other. So there's going to be like a whole bombardment of EPs and this and that, because maybe you may not be able to shoot a video for the music you've created because of social whatever distancing norms. I think that's going to come out because I know so many of my friends who every day are writing a new song, and I'm like, wow, like not me, but other people, I'm sure, are doing that. I'm not that.
And I think it's a big testament as well, right? Because I've been seeing, I think remixes का जो culture है वो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुका है. I think music industry में. And
It's dying out also.
Is it? Do you think so though? I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, it is dying out. It's dying out.
Yeah.
Because it's not just because people are disliking it. It's because people who actually created the earlier stuff, the content, the original product, they've started standing up.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Akasa, you were going to say something. I just saw you being like, so you were going to say something.
I'm just, people, a while back, people used to ask me, I was made to ask this on my show as well to people, what do you think about remixes? It's a supply and demand, right? The audiences were consuming so much of remix music. Why will the producers not make it? They will force their music directors to remix songs. But I'm so proud of some people who've spoken up. I think Vishal Dadlani and Vishal and Shekhar were very blatant. A.R. Rahman spoke out against one of the songs.
Oh yeah.
And I have nothing against people making remixes because I understand demand and supply. But I'm glad audiences, jinke liye ban raha tha, started being like, "Nahi, now you're touching songs that mean something to us." So once you start consuming it, people will stop making remixes. Everybody wants to create new things. Nobody wants to get like under that huge pressure. Oh my God, itna acha gana hai, abhi hame bhi kuch create karna padega of that iconic song. So he's right. I think it's dying down, and
it's down because people are waking up.
Yeah. Oh God, I keep saying this. I think 2020 has been a huge topper on our faces as humans, as a sort of a generation, I think. But I think it's great, and I think the fact that you've created such a wonderful piece like Naiyyo, I think it's great because it shows even in a time like this, which is a crisis, creativity never dies, and it's always there. You just gotta search within yourself and find it, and I love that. But before I let you guys go, kuch ho jaye, like a few lines from the song, I think for the viewers, I think that would be.
Definitely, definitely, please.
Yes, for sure.
Irshad.
तेरे नाल मैं बैके दे भी गल्ला सीखती जो कदे मेरा हथ नहीं छड्डी पड़िया एक बारी तो फिर तो क्यों दे गया गोली वादे तू तोड़े क्यों मैं तेरे नाल नहीं ते तेरे नाल भी तू नहीं हो नहीं हो नहीं हो तेरे नाल भी तू नहीं हो ताराराता तारारारारा
दिल टूटा या रब रूठा, एक बात तम घुटा या सब छूटा, एक बात सब लुटा के खुद लुटा, एक बात तुझे दुखा या मुझे दुखा, एक बात नहीं है तू रोती बेबी कूची में, आंखें पोछे फेंडी से, गूगल करके भेजे तू मैसेज मुझे सेंटी से, ब्रेकअप हो गया अब क्या करूं पूछे तू सहेली से, और दुनिया घर पे इकट्ठी करके बोले तू अकेली है छूटी, सही है जैसा भी है सही है, आगे तुझे मिलूंगा नहीं पीछे तेरे कई, हाँ हाँ सही है जैसा भी है सही है, दिखना जरूरी चाहे दुख तभी नहीं है.
Oh ho. Both hard, both hard. That was amazing. I love that. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Raftaar and Akasa, I'd just like to say thank you for coming on Filme Shilmy today and joining us for this very insightful and meaningful conversation on music and of course Naiyyo. And a huge congratulations once again on the song.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot, brother.
And thank you so much. And hopefully see you guys in London whenever you come to perform at a concert.
Definitely, definitely. I think that's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
Soon, because let's keep the air around us positive. It's going to happen soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. But anyway, thank you very much, guys. Take good care of yourselves.
बहुत शुक्रिया, man. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye, Akasa. Adios.
Bye.